Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Last week I shared with you our summer morning routine, so I thought I would do a summer evening routine for you as well. So this is what an evening looks like for us on a typical school day. First things first, ice lollies to cool them down after a really hot day at school. One of the first things Merrin likes to do always is sit down and play with Marnie for a while, and today Aiden's getting in on the action with his dinosaurs too. This evening we're actually painting some stones. I don't know if you've heard about the rock painting craze, but Channel Mum is actually getting involved and running an amazing competition where you can win a £50 Smith's toy voucher. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check out the competition. It's definitely worth a look, and also the rock painting thing is really addictive. The kids are enjoying it so much. Then it's on to one of my least favourite jobs, and that's emptying lunch boxes. I always start with Merrin's because it's usually the cleanest. So I just empty them all out, give them a good wipe over, and whilst I'm doing that, Marnie is busy causing havoc in her own little toy kitchen and pulling out all the wooden food, which is one of her favourite things to do. Aiden has now gone into the garden to practice riding his bike and pull his big sister around in the wagon. I'm absolutely loving how warm it is in the evenings. They spend most of their time outside playing, which is just lovely to see. I'm not sure how Merrin's convinced him to tow her rather than the other way around, but he seems to be enjoying it. So whilst they're all busy and happy, I can get on with dinner. Tonight the kids are having some chicken with mashed potato and veg. So I get on with peeling the potatoes whilst they're playing, and by this point Aiden's decided he wants to come in, and he always likes to be as close to me as physically possible, so he sits on the work surface, which I don't really love, but it's quite sweet that he wants to be that close to me whilst I'm making dinner. Marnie actually needs a nappy change now, and she's such a wriggler when I get her dressed and undressed. It's really difficult to do at the moment. Then I wash my hands for what feels like the millionth time today and make myself a well-deserved cuppa because I'm flagging a little bit this afternoon and I could do with a coffee. So whilst the potatoes are boiling away, I just head off to find Marnie, who seems to have disappeared, and it's not long before I find her playing row your boat with her big sister. Merrin is amazing. She looks after her so much for me whilst I'm getting on with other things. I'd be lost without her. Then the kids help me to prepare for dinner by laying the table, putting out the drinks and things like that while I plate up the food. Marnie's just having the same as the others, but just chopped up really small so that she can manage it, and then it's feeding time at the zoo. Marnie likes to feed herself at the moment in the evenings, which is funny because she'll let me spoon feed her in the morning for breakfast every single morning, but if I try and do it at dinner time it doesn't go down well at all, so not sure what that's about. Now Dylan is heading off to a disco at what will be his new high school in September, and my mum has popped over quickly, so she's watching the other kids whilst I drive him to the disco. As soon as I get back, it's straight on with bath time for the youngest two. We're using this baby bedtime bubbles in the bath, and I use it on their hair as well. I try and lay out Marnie's things before I put her in the bath, just makes it easier afterwards. Marnie absolutely loves bath time. It's one of her favourite times of the day. She would spend hours in there if I let her, and she just plays with her stacking cups and this bee toy that she had for her birthday. I like to bath the youngest two together if I can. It just makes things a little bit easier whilst the eldest two have showers, and I just sit and watch them playing together, which is lovely. Marnie's not so keen on coming out of the bath though, and she always gets a bit upset when it's time to come out and get dressed for bed. So now it's time to get her ready for bed. As you can see, she's not so keen to give up on her bath toys yet, so she's just hanging on to one of those whilst I get her dressed. I'm still breastfeeding Marnie last thing in the evening before she goes to bed, and if she wakes in the night as well. And this evening was actually a good bedtime. It's not normally this quick and easy, but I just stroked her head and she went off to sleep quite quickly. She was really tired. Dan actually arrived home whilst I was getting Marnie off to sleep and got Aiden out the bath and ready for bed, which is brilliant. So now we can sit down and have our dinner finally. Aiden has decided to go back out in the garden, this time to watch his iPad whilst riding his bike, as you do. And then I have about 5 minutes to spare before I have to go and pick up Dylan from his disco, which he really enjoyed. Then it's back home and time to get my baby boy to bed. He likes to sit and have a chat just before bedtime and tell me all about his day, which is nice because I get one-on-one time with him. Dan is actually in the middle of reading this book to Aiden, but Dan was busy this evening, so I sat down and read a chapter of his book. Then it's time to get the eldest two to make sure their teeth are brushed and into bed, and they're just having a little bit of screen time before lights out. Then it's back downstairs to tidy up any mess that's still left out from the day. There's nothing worse than coming down in the morning to a mess, so I like to just go through and pick up all the toys that are left out and have a quick hoover to get rid of any crumbs left over from dinner, and just take care of any washing up that's left over from dinner. Then I spray down the table and Marnie's high chair and give it a good wipe over before tackling my last job of the evening, which is to fold the washing that's just finished in the tumble dryer. I'd like to do this as quickly as possible so that I can avoid any ironing in my life. I just cannot stand ironing. Hooray, my washing basket is finally empty for once, at least until I spot a vest of Marnie's that's been left out on the side. And then it starts all over again. And that's it, 9:30, and I'm finally done for the evening. So that's what a typical evening looks like for us in the summer. As much as I love the lighter evenings and having more time and the kids can play outside until they go to bed and things like that, it does make getting the little ones off to sleep on time that little bit more difficult. But I will take that over dark and dreary evenings any day. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing our typical summer evening routine. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!